G'day guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Eno and I'm from Fantasy Take TV. Today I'm doing something a little bit different as to what you might normally see from me, George or JD, but going to make a video on my FPL season so far. It's been a pretty successful one, probably the most successful season I've had to date in any fantasy game there is, overall ranking wise anyway. So probably a bit overdue, to be honest, me making a video on this. If you come from the Supercoach side of things, which is an Australian rules football game, you may not want to watch this, so fair enough. Or if you somehow find this from an FPL sense, welcome. So yeah, I'll do my best to probably quickly recap most of the weeks or good weeks or decisions that I've had into the season so far. Show my current team and plans for the rest of the season. We're up to Gameweek 25, and as I put there, I'm actually ranked 206 in the world, and for a game that about 7 million people play or at least sign up at the start of the season, that's definitely the highest I've ever been in any fantasy game over my years. So there's a few guys on the screen that have helped me along the way, but we'll get more into some others as well. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'd greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter down the bottom there, and the Fantasy Take TV account as well. Without further ado, let's get into it. I'll quickly show on the screen, sort of, there's Game Week 1 to 12. If you want to pause and have a look at any of that, you can. I'm not going to go down the list and read every rank or every score of every round, but down the bottom I've got there the chip usage that I've had this season. I've only used the two wild cards. The first one was in Game Week 8, which I'll get to at some point, and then more recently used a second wild card in Game Week 23. I've got TC Game Week 26 because that's pretty much where I'm headed for the coming round of fixtures, to use that, and then in doing so I'll probably free hit the week after, but that still leaves me with my second free hit and bench boost to be used at some other point during the season. I flicked over there. There's Game Week 13 and then up until now as well. So yeah, do pause if you want to look at any of that. But it's obviously been mostly green arrows. But then obviously once you are up, I've been sort of around the top, 1,000 or so for quite a while now. Obviously going to cop a few red arrows in there as well. So I've been happy to sort of keep my rank, and obviously there's still a bit to go. So I want to obviously continue to do that in the last 13 game weeks as well. So firstly, let's get to my Gameweek 1 team. It's pretty template, or template, as you would say in the FPL world. My probably main differences where I went for, it's probably all the midfield guys really. The strike force was very common early, Antonio and Ings. Obviously Mo Salah, Trent, they're all going to be owned. Simicast was one we obviously had with Robbo out for the start of the season. Sanchez was a popular goalie. Luke Shaw was very popular, which turned out to be not too great. But it's probably those four midfield spots. Jack Grealish, just one of my favourites, so I did select him with his first, appearance for Man City. Greenwood was also one of my favourites. We won't go into anything further there. But Heung-min Son, another one of my favourites. I love Heung-min Son, even as an Arsenal fan. He's one of my favourite players to watch. So I wanted to start him as well. And Harvey Barnes was a bit of a punt, and that one didn't work out too well. Went triple pull, double United, Son and Grealish, and then that strike force was very, very common, as I said. So there's the Gameweek 1 team. It was 91 points and about 1 millionth after the first game week, which was, you can't really judge much off the first game week, but it was a decent start. Obviously my bench there you can see as well. Game Week 2. This was a much, much better week with the exact same lineup. No changes from the bench. Put the same 11 out there. Got 86 points, but that was well above the average for that particular game week. We got the haul from Trent, which everyone obviously has, but Simicast as well. Got the clean from Sanchez. Mo Salah captain was disappointing, but I think most might have gone him. Grealish got a goal, I believe, that game. Greenwood as well. Son and Barnes blanked, but then Antonio again. He had an absolutely hot start to the season, as you all know if you've been playing. And Danny Ings, I think he scored a bicycle that week, which I was watching, which was a great goal. But yeah, that was a big week, and 124k for the round, and that obviously gives you quite a boost. And then I think, I sort of middled around for a few weeks there until we get to game week 8. And a big part of the fixtures around that time was the Chelsea fixture swing. They turned to absolutely great run of fixtures, but actually started in game week 7. And I still felt I was all right in game week 7. I think I sort of held rank and didn't pop the wild card yet. But I decided to wait a week, and I think it was an international break as well, which was part of my thinking. I wanted to, not wild card and then have a week and then a 2-week period, where obviously players can get injured or whatnot, things can change. So that was part of my thinking to wait on the wild card. And look, it is obviously a bit of luck. You had a lot of luck in FPL, as I think everyone who plays it would know, that I decided to go for, after the international break, the 2 Chelsea fullbacks. I know a lot went Rudiger, a lot went Azpilicueta, which I think for the game week 7, that worked out quite well for him. Azpi got a couple of assists and whatnot, but I just thought fullbacks are just the way to go in FPL. You get attacking fullbacks that play in a good system, and obviously they get the clean sheets, but the chance for attacking returns is just a bonus. So you want those type of guys, and I think in this game Chilwell scored and assisted maybe, or I think he scored and got 3 bonus points actually, and obviously the clean, which was a good first week for him in my team. And I actually went Lukaku as well, which was a disappointment, as you'll see probably in the next week. Got in Phil Foden, who was someone I wanted to attack. I know he looks great on the stats, but I just love him as a player as well, to be honest. I don't play this game, for anyone that may ask the questions too heavily on the stats. I have watched soccer probably for the best part of 10 or 15 years of my life, and I just prefer to if I watch enough games, like what I see in a player and their ability. So, Foden, I wanted to get Saka in as probably one of my favourite players for Arsenal. Even Hwang at the time, he looked like a decent option. Lukaku was one I probably wasn't too keen on, and he did blank that game. And as you can see in the next week, he was quickly out of my side because I think he did get injured. And look, I went straight to Vardy, which wasn't a great move. But look at the rest of the team. I think this was the week Chelsea played Norwich. Obviously, Lukaku did get injured, and a lot tried to jump on the Havertz train, as you might remember, and tried to captain him. And I stuck with the Mo Salah captain against United, and he scored a hat trick, and that was a massive one. So that was a big turning point in the season. And I think obviously this wild card at game week 8. And then obviously the subsequent score in game week 9 sort of turned my season, or really pushed me into that top. I think I was up to the top 2,000 or something after this week, which was crazy. So yeah, we got the goal from both James and Chilwell. Trent, I think, just another clean and bonus points, maybe an assist. I can't remember. Obviously said Salah hat trick. Foden scored twice in that game. I believe it was against Brighton. Rafinha blanked, a couple other blanks there. Hwang did score, which was helpful. And then we had Livramento actually got a decent haul on the bench there. But yeah, 118 points that week, massive, 30k for the round, and just pushed me well up the rankings there. So then I'm probably just going to fast forward. I don't want to go through every week of the season. Sort of want to get onto what my team is now and thinking. But game week 18 was another big turning point, another huge week. 2000th for the game week, which was massive. Got another return from James, Trent, but another big one was captaincy, and I'll get into it after this sort of period of looking at my team. But the captaincy have just been, a lot of luck involved, obviously, but yeah, just being able to nail the captains more often than not. And Cancelo scoring, and I think assisting against Newcastle, got 3 bonus points. Everything just went right there, and obviously I think a lot stuck with Salah for that week, and he blanked. So Alonso there getting a return. Jota, everyone pretty much had at that point. Saka, and then I haven't got to it yet. Gabby Martinelli, and I've put there what I actually did. Much of this season's been about having to time your transfers, leaving them to last minute. All this COVID stuff is a lot of fixtures have been ruled out, and you don't want to early transfer and put yourself in a mess. But for this week, I think I knew I was going to be or out or unavailable to sort of make a last minute decision or transfer. I think it was a Saturday night. So I went early on Gallagher and Foden. I wanted to get Foden back in. I think I did fall for that Bernardo Silva trap, even though I said to myself I wouldn't. But yeah, he had to go. And Bomo went. I got Foden and Gallagher in. And then, of course, I think the Palace game was off. And I went, bloody hell, do I take it another -4 to swap that over? Because as you can see on my bench there, actually, everyone was pretty much out as well. Didn't have a fixture. So I was going to take another 0 or something. I was just like, yeah, bugger it. You know what? I think we had, I can't remember now who Arsenal were playing. Anyway, brought in Martinelli. Bang, gets a brace. Huge, and yeah, that game week again just solidified my rankings up the top there, and was massively helpful for the season. So that was another big game week. Then we get to only a few weeks ago, using my second wild card, which look, I will put on the table. I'm not a seasoned FPL veteran by any means. I've only played it for 3 or 4 years, and I'll be honest, most years I give up about halfway because of how frustrating it is. And it is a not a tough game, but you do have to be very engaged to keep up with it. So I did find that part of it, it's during footy, or, towards the end, it's footy season starting and there's other things going on. And, it is a game that you really have to be switched on and in the news and in the know to keep on top of things. So, using your second wild card, I think, I've read a lot of things. You want to save it late, or you want to use it when you're going to bench boost straight after, or, double game week straight after, things like that. I just didn't like where my team was at that current period. I had Ronaldo, I think I had triple United, and just they were looking terrible. I wanted to get off it. Ronaldo was maybe deemed to be possibly missing the game week. It was about 2 a.m. I was sitting in bed. I'm like, waiting for any news, and I just went, stuff it. I'm going to wild card. I'm going to get in Robbo. I want to get in because this point Salah was gone. Obviously, I wanted to get triple Liverpool still. Wanted to also triple up on City. They had a good few fixtures coming up. So yeah, got KDB and got Robbo in. I was baited by like many were by the Watford double game week and doubled up on their strikers there. And luckily, I didn't captain Dennis this week as many did, or King as well for that matter. And stuck it on KDB. He got the return in the single game week, and it was another decent game week for me. Unfortunately, I had Digne there on the bench with a 12-pointer, unfortunately. But yeah, so second wild card was used then, and that sort of put me into my team. I didn't have to make any transfers really for the next 2 or 3 game weeks afterwards. I was able to bank 2 and used 2 frees the week just gone actually, and actually did a 3rd transfer for a hit. So let's get on to how I was going to quickly show the captaincy. There is a website there to show top FPL pickers, and I'll just quickly scroll up to the top. The top guy is crazy. He's had about 544 points there from his captains alone, and he's ranked about 2,000. But if we scroll down, I'm actually at about 49th. So had 482 points from my captains this year, which is crazy hit rate. Obviously, a lot of luck is involved in doing this. I'll quickly, I think it shows a percentage here if I go to it. But yeah, I think it's about an 80-odd% hit rate on captains. I think they deem a good captain about 7 to 10 or 7+ points. So yeah, so it's about almost 20 points a game week, 84%. So 20 went under 25, and then obviously the Salah big one in that United triple was the best one of the season. But yeah, quick scroll down. There was a couple of Antonios in there, one blanked. Ronaldo, Jota weren't great, but yeah, recently just been good. Couple of KDBs and got the Bruno as well in the week just gone, which I will get to now. There we go. So yeah, there's the team, how it looks right now. Got 79 points. Did bring in Bruno. I got Mo Salah back in. So trade out Kevin. There was that not early news, but notion that Kevin was probably going to get rested for this week. So I did believe it too. I actually did believe Cancelo would too, and he did as well. But he's not a guy I was looking at trading out because for me he's a season hold. But yeah, so I got Kevin to Salah. I got Jota back up to Fernandes for the double. Didn't want to get Ronaldo in, wasn't sure on how his minutes would go. He did end up starting both, and obviously in that Brighton game scored in the first half, and I was, Bruno still on 0 returns, looking well, we've finally got a week wrong and probably going to have a red arrow, but of course got that very lucky last minute Bruno goal, and a lot of people that turned a red arrow to a green or a green to a red, just depending if you had him or not as a captain as well. So fairly lucky with that. Put me back up to, as you can see, 206 rank for the season, and yeah, fairly happy with that and how we will line up this week. I've already made my transfers. I got rid of Gallagher for Saka, and I couldn't do that just with one free transfer. It was about, I think it was 0.1 off. So a transfer I was probably looking at doing anyway, and I got rid of De Gea to Ramsdale as well. It is a possible bench boost, but I think the triple captain is just way too hard to pass up. So I think that is something I'll 99% be going down. I don't really see myself changing that unless anything happens with Mo Salah up until the deadline. But yeah, so that's how my team's looking. As for what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks, I mean, as you can see, now that I've got triple Liverpool already, got triple Arsenal now with Tierney as well. So they both blank, or they all blank in 27. So I've pretty much locked myself into a free hit for next week. So yeah, that's Gameweek 28. But yeah, pretty much free hit this week. I can't really mess around on the FPL team with what it'll look like, but I think Triple City as they play Everton. There'll be some other guys you want up there, but yeah, I'll have a look at that when I get to it. But how it'll look after the free hit, still fairly decent. So you can bring Cancelo back on. Maybe for that will be Saka. So we'll put Saka in now. You might bench Bowen against Liverpool. Who knows? But yeah, probably Fernandes is someone I'll look at getting out of my side after that Leeds fixture. Could keep him, but I don't like that City fixture at all. So I'll look at getting someone like a Son in after that period. He's got Everton, and they've got a little decent run of fixtures coming up. United away is not the best, but West Ham, Newcastle, Villa, Brighton, I do like that for Spurs. That'll obviously be Ramsdale as well. So yeah, probably just I would be totally fine with just getting Son in for Fernandes this week, and fielding the rest of my team. There's possible doubles that could pop up, but we'll obviously get to that. If that happens, Arsenal might get one. Chelsea are back playing in 28 as well, so you could look at their players. Probably only look at their defenders for now until we figure out what's happening. I think Mount's injured, so got to see what's happening there. But yeah, Reece James, someone who did me well start of the year, someone I'll probably look to get back in, or even just Rudiger. Just he's nailed every week. So anyway. That's my team. That's my season. Let me know if you want to keep seeing these. I might not do them every week, but just update, here to the end of the season on how I'm going and see what rank I can get to by the end of the year. So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you back with some Supercoach content pretty soon. Cheers. Got the mojo deals, we been tripping like pulling out the coupe at the lot.